On the agenda for today's Pills on Tech and Law podcast is the term proxy server. A proxy server is like an intermediary between our computer and the internet. When we visit a website, instead of connecting directly, our request goes through the proxy server. It then gets the information from the websites and sends it back to us. This helps with things like privacy and security, but of course, it is also used by criminals to hide their identity online. Our expert today is EMMANUELLE LEGRAND. She is a French magistrate with court practice as a prosecutor and as a judge. Welcome to our podcast, Emmanuelle. Can you explain what a proxy server is and how it works in everyday internet use?
Indeed, Laviero. When we talk about proxy servers, we think of being anonymous online and committing crimes. Well, what are we talking about here? Let's go back to the real world for a minute. When you decide to write a letter to somebody, what you usually do is that you put your letter in an envelope, and on the envelope you're going to have to write the name and the postal address of the person. In general, in most cases, you also want the person to know that you sent the letter, so you're also going to write your name and postal address. Well, let's say, to make it simple, that the equivalent online of your postal address will be your IP address. Basically, when you connect to the internet with your device, which means your computer or your smartphone, at the end of the day, we will be able to know that you are at the origin of the connection to a server or at the origin of an email because of your IP address. But even in real life, for many good reasons, you may not want the person to know your personal address. Of course, you have different possibilities for that, but one of them could be that instead of using your personal address, you may want to use the address of the post office box instead of your personal one. Well, let's say that a proxy server online would do the same for you, which means that it will be some kind of intermediary between you and the server you're trying to connect to. Which means that at the end of the day, the only IP address that will be visible is not yours, but it's going to be theirs instead of yours. So there is a good side and a bad side to it. The good side is that if you use a proxy server for legitimate purposes, indeed, this can help enhance your level of privacy and your protection against cyber attacks. Of course, there is also a bad side to it, which means that cyber criminals also use proxy servers to be anonymous online and to commit crimes. Well, let's remind us of two things. The first is that it's not because you use a proxy server that you automatically have something to hide or that you're trying to commit illegal actions. The second point is that if cybercriminals think that they're safe using proxy servers because they think they're truly anonymous, well, unfortunately for them, that's not the case because first, proxy companies don't have all the same level of privacy and anonymity, but second, cooperation between authorities also work better and better. So we can finally, at the end of the day, even if they use proxy servers, we can identify the perpetrators.